name is Julian Keeley. First off, I'd like to apologize. One of my other teammates who is supposed to be presenting today, he had last-minute conflict, but nonetheless, I'm excited to do this on my own, and I hope this is an interesting conversation. You, the Lucasfilm Board of Directors, we gave a presentation to you yesterday in which we covered the ethical, legal, and financial framework of your cinematic process. And specifically, this concerns your facial recreation technologies, which are used to resurrect the deceased Peter Cushing in the new movie Rogue One. Financially, this creates some possible issues. People have already started to backlash the use of this effects, and in the future, if you continue to use this technology, you may create a negative public image. If this happens, then box office sales could drop, and this might harm Lucasfilm financially. Legally, this technology has a possibility to conflict with post-mortem rights of publicity, and which is defined as someone's rights after they are deceased, and their right to protect their own image and likeness after their death. But at the heart of this issue, aside from the legal and financial aspects, we believe that there's some serious ethical problems that deserve to be addressed. So we believe that this film process is unethical because the deceased actors who are involved in the film production are unable to give their informed consent to be present in the film. Now, as a film production company, you're operating in the entertainment industry. This means you deal directly with intellectual and personal property rights. Now, professionals in your industry are expected to follow ethical principles that protect the rights of all stakeholders involved. Now, we believe that this film process is directly infringing upon deceased actors who are involved. This is not taking into consideration the right to their own dignity. By moving forward with this technology, we need to discuss specifically Peter Cushing. What was his situation? As Peter Cushing died in 1994, he couldn't have possibly imagined that this technology would come about in the current age. Therefore, he wouldn't have been able to give informed consent at the time of his death. Now, by using this technology in future films, you would be operating on the basis of implied consent. That is, you would assume that any dead actor that you use would approve this appropriation of his or her own likeness. But should we really be trusting the judgment of financially motivated filmmakers to make an ethically unbiased decision here? The truth is, nobody, not filmmakers, not even the family member of these deceased actors, can make that decision in Peter Cushing's place. Now let's speculate for a moment what would have happened if Peter Cushing passed away in the current decade. Would he have possibly taken steps to protect the exploitation of his likeness? If you were fully aware of the possibilities of this technology, well, he very well might have. Interestingly, we have a similar case of this happening to another beloved actor. Robin Williams, before he passed away, had it written into his will to protect his image and his likeness for 25 years in a secure trust. This means that nobody can profit off of his personal rights during that time period. Now, this action by Robin Williams is a sign that actors who have built up these formidable careers probably don't want to be turned into computerized puppets after their death. Now, obviously, some actors are having fears over the potentials of this technology. So John Knoll, who is the Chief Creative Officer at Industrial Light and Magic, he tried to relieve public fears by claiming that this film technology would not become commonplace. However, the issue is many professionals in the industry are already preparing for the future of this technology. Rob Legato, who's an effects supervisor in Hollywood, he said that soon actors will be required to have a variety of facial expressions digitally scanned in case they happen to die during the middle of production and had to be recreated digitally to finish up the film. So this poses a threat to actors. Film production companies may start asking them to sign a contract in which they hand over their rights of publicity in order to perform in this film. If actors refuse to surrender their rights because they're personally uncomfortable with this, then they'll quickly become unemployed because there will be no more acting opportunities available to them. But there's also another serious threat to the acting industry. If Lucasfilm decides to fill the roles of characters using deceased actors, then this prevents living actors from starring in the roles. If the entire cast were filled with deceased actors, then the only opportunity left for these living actors would be to get involved in the motion capture performances in which they would receive only an insignificant spot in the credits for their efforts. Now, the third major group that Lucasfilm should consider is the audience. So many critics criticized the effects in Rogue One. Some called it a case of digital indignity, while others said it was even borderline unholy. Now, I saw the film, and my first thought was, wow, it's amazing that they were able to pull that off so well. And then my second thought was, wow, that's terrifying that they were able to do that so well. But it turns out it wasn't just me who had a negative reaction to the effects. In one film, in a poll of the film community, only 34% of the respondents said that the use of this technology in Rogue One was ethically defensible. Now, I'm assuming the filmmakers of Rogue One wanted to evoke a nostalgic reaction to this fan-favorite character, but instead the result was actually pretty unsettling. The dignity of death deserves to be preserved. Film audiences become immediately aware when filmmakers violate this principle. Now, although Peter Cushing, his resurrection was unsettling for viewers, some people were actually unaware of his acting career or his death over 20 years ago. However, that would not be the case if Carrie Fisher returned as Leia as a CGI recreated version of her character in future Star Wars films. Since Carrie Fisher just passed away a few months ago, everyone would be fully aware of the situation and the public would likely protest if her CGI version appeared in future films. Now, we discourage Lucasfilm from attempting to extend the likeness of a character beyond the lifespan of the original actor. If Lucasfilm sets ethical boundaries on this technology, then the dignity of death will be preserved. We believe that in order to prevent an industrial trend this happening, you should instead shift your creative efforts toward entertainment experiences that engage viewers rather than shock and disturb them. Additionally, in order to protect the security of the acting industry, you should hire new actors to play existing roles, which will keep the series fresh. We believe that it is in your best interest to protect the rights of all stakeholders involved. We're very confident that Lucasfilm will continue to impress the film community with their exciting contributions to the industry. And thank you so much for your consideration.